great to see you again, Professor Yunus, and on behalf of the Center for Strategic Philanthropy at the University of Cambridge's Judge Business School, thank you for participating in this discussion series on the future of philanthropy. Professor Yunus, a Nobel Prize laureate and a self-described banker to the poor, is a son of Chittagong in Bangladesh and credited as the father of social business and microcredit. His decorated career started with academic excellence, earning his PhD in economics as a Vanderbilt University Fulbright scholar and subsequently heading the economics department at Chittagong University. Professor Yunus established Grameen Bank in Bangladesh in 1983 to help the vulnerable exit poverty with microloans and by teaching sound financial principles. Today, replicas of Grameen Bank operate in over 100 countries. As a champion of what he refers to as social businesses, Professor Yunus founded himself numerous companies in Bangladesh that address diverse issues of poverty and development, including in telecoms, energy, textiles, education, agriculture, and fisheries. It's a major challenge to recount the recognitions that Professor Yunus has received over the years, but some of his most notable international awards include the Olympic Laurel, George Washington's Presidential Medal, Jordan's King Hussein's Humanitarian Leadership Award, and Korea's Seoul Peace Prize. He's received all three of the highest US civilian awards, the Presidential Citizens Medal, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and the Congressional Gold Medal, making him one of only 7 people in history who has received these awards, including the likes of Martin Luther King Jr., Mother Teresa, and Nelson Mandela. Professor Yunus has published several books related to his finance work, including Creating a World Without Poverty, Building Social Business, and A World of 3 Zeros, where he makes the case for a new model that can lead the world to zero poverty, zero unemployment, and zero net carbon emissions. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Dear Professor Yunus, allow me to reflect on Grameen's origins with your original personal loan of $27 to 42 women. And fast forward to today's Grameen Bank that has well over 9 million members, I believe, 97% of which are women. Would you consider this incredible journey that you've had primarily a philanthropic one? And if so, how compatible is that with more traditional business principles?
Thank you, Badr, for having me. I'm delighted to talk to you on these issues. Grameen is always made it very clear. It's a business organization. It's not a philanthropic in a traditional sense, because philanthropic somehow is equated with the charity, although its broader meaning is quite different. So I'll take philanthropy as a charity interpretation. Definitely, Grameen Bank is not a charity organization. It's very much a financial organization as a business model. It has its own shareholders, and the owners of the bank are the borrowers of the bank, and a small percentage for the government also. And they get their dividend to themselves every year with the profit and so on. So it has all the features of any commercial organization, with the objective, with the difference that it belongs to the borrowers themselves, who happen to be, as you said, women, mostly 97% women borrowers that we have in that. So that way, it's a financial organization. It follows all the rules of finance, except that it doesn't take any collateral. It charges interest and gets the cost recovered through its own income, and has surplus as a profit, and profit gets distributed to the borrowers who are the owners of the bank.
10 years ago, you also co-founded the Yunus social business to create and empower social businesses which are solving global problems. Today, Yunus funds grow local social businesses that provide employment, education, and also healthcare and clean water to an incredible 9 million people in East Africa, Latin America, and India. Are you happy with how social impact is being embraced by businesses across the world today? And since the social business model that you champion is a zero dividend business, are you not alienating perhaps those who might want to pursue social goals whilst at the same time generate financial rewards for themselves?
The conventional business is designed on the objective of maximization of profit, because economics created the framework where business has to be created for that objective. Because economists imagine human being as someone who is driven by self-interest. So on that self-interest, translated into business, is a maximization of profit. So if you follow that path, you have to ignore many of the social needs that you have. So we have been raising the question that the very definition of human being in economics is done in a wrong way, in a very very limited way, in a damaging way. A human being is not only driven by self-interest, which we agree that there is element of self-interest in human being, but human being also is driven by collective interest. That part is not included in economics. So we want to add that part as a collective interest. So we need a different kind of business to achieve the goal of the collective interest, to solve the problems of the people. So we designed a business to fill that collective interest need, desire of the human being. And that's a business of a kind which is not interested in making personal profit. In self-interest driven business needs maximization of profit. Collective interest driven business needs business without any personal interest profit at all. So that's the kind we call social business. It's a non-dividend company to solve human problems. So we are introducing that kind of businesses. People say, oh no, that's not possible. Why should anybody invest in a business where they don't want to make money at all? That would be very strange. That would be a crazy thing to do. I said, people are crazier than that. They give away their money. And that's the charity comes. And not only a small amount of money, trillions of dollars has given away as charity. So I'm giving them an option. You can choose between investing in a social business so that it continues to function and grow and so on. And so in the process, solve human problems along the way. I said the charity is a wonderful idea. It's a great idea to help people. And this has been saving people over centuries. But it has a limitation. The limitation of charity is charity money goes out, does a wonderful work, but the money never comes back. And that's a part of the charity issue. So I said, the one that we are trying to do, what we call social business money goes out, achieve the same objective of solving problems, and money comes back. Then you can reuse the money to do the same thing or do something new again and again and again. It never stops. In the process, because you create a business, social business, money grows in the process, and whatever profit you have, profit is plowed back into the business. So you have a chance to expansion of your business and so on. So compared to charity and social business, I would say social business gives you much better mileage with your money than you do in the charity part of it. I'm not denying that charity is a very important thing. In many cases where you cannot come up with the business idea, social business idea, how to address a problem, charity is the only way to do that. And emergencies, always you start with charity and then go gradually move into social business and so on. But with the commercial thing that we have with the profit maximization, you cannot address these issues because your mind is totally focused in maximization of profit. So you, in a way, I say that economists has made us into money-making robots. We are not human being anymore because the word human doesn't exist in economic jargon. Humanity doesn't exist. That is completely taken out from business. Business is about making money. That's about the whole thing. I said, we want to put it back again, that humanity exists, but you need a different kind of business. in addition to money-making business. We are not discarding that exists because it exists in human being. But you can also do, in addition to that, you can do social business where you don't want to make personal profit out of it. So that's our thing, and the people are responding to that. Not only we have created many social businesses in Bangladesh, as you listed them, and many companies are coming forward to have social businesses. That's what you mentioned, Yunus social business. They are helping them to do that. The varieties of those social businesses are coming out. Now you mentioned about the sports, the Olympic laurel that recently gave me in the Olympic 2020 of Tokyo Olympic 2020. That's because we are inviting sports world to use their power to bring social business to solve problems, societal problems, as well as the problem inside with the sports world. And they love that. And that's why our joint activities with the sports world led us to take the Olympic laurel in the Olympic 2020.
So moving from the role of business to the role of government, does the government in these markets need to do more to encourage this form of business and nurture more impactful, also giving in general? And if so, how?
Government is in a very important situation in the society. One big role government can play, they can become the cheerleader, saying that this is a good thing to do. All the problems society has always dumped into the door of the government that you have to solve it. And government they have no clue how to solve every single problem as they come up. So there, when you come with the social business, you are taking a share in solving problems. The same problem that government is supposed to solve, individuals can solve them too, in a business way, in a social business way. Charity is also exists, but this is something more powerful because it comes in a business format. So you have to cover the cost at the same time solve the problem. It's a tough job, but people come with creative ideas, whether it's education, whether it's healthcare, whether it's energy, renewable energy, people's skill development, many things can come, creating jobs, entrepreneurship, converting young people into entrepreneurs in through social businesses and so on, creating venture capital funds to help young people to start their business as a startup, as their own business, money-making business or social business, whatever they want. But the venture capital fund, social business venture capital fund can put the money in their hands so that they can translate their ideas into doing things. So government can do a lot of things, recognizing this and also encouraging creation of social business. Like they can require companies to create parallel social businesses and get some priority in giving decision in their favor, whatever they're doing, because they're taking a burden from the government. So they can get a special treatment. And when you're giving licenses for anything, like the license for banking, they can say that if you are creating a social business bank, you'll get priority. So you create a social business bank to solve people's problem, not to make money for yourself. But by adding that part that you give priority, then actually you're giving priority, then people will come forward. Yes, why don't they do that? Or if you say education, special priority will be given to education, which is a social business education or social business energy company and so on and so forth. Anything social business they can prioritize. And they can say, we buy from companies which are social business. We give priorities to the companies that which are social business companies, because somebody personally is not benefiting. They are doing it to solve the problem of the people. So we prioritize them to buy things. So government has a lot of power, financial power, use their financial power to do that. And also their legal power to make them the laws favoring social businesses and so on. So they have lots of ways they can support social growth of the social business and teach social business in educational curriculum, include that. That's very important thing. Students don't know about it, that there's something called social business exists. Now the only thing you learn about business, you have to make money. That's the only kind of business exists in the textbook. So we can introduce that idea that there's another kind of business. You can solve people's problem by creating social business. And for example, in the religious requirement, 2.5% of your wealth you have to give away every year. So we can encourage how to use this money into social business direction. That you create funds with this money to invest in social business if religious requirement is fulfilled by that. So these are the kind of thing, encouragement and being cheerleader at the same time using the tools that you have in your hand, policy tools that you have in your hand, in the government hand.
And since you mentioned students, I'd like to zoom in to our youth and our future leaders. In what way do you think that the next generation of strategic philanthropists, but also social entrepreneurs, will change how social and environmental impact is pursued in the years to come?
Well, young people will change the world. That's their, it comes to them now, because the older generation have failed in creating the world that they can have a good life on this planet, because planet is already threatened in a big way. That's what the global warming, we soon will be meeting at the COP26, discuss that, how close we are. We are at the verge of extinction, literally, if we don't be careful. And I try to remind everybody that our house is burning, but inside the house, we are having parties, enjoying ourselves about our economic growth and our business successes or technological successes and so on, totally ignoring that the house itself will not exist very soon. So as a sane person, we have to see how urgent it is. We have to get out of those partying. And first thing to do is to stop the global warming. Because if we don't stop the fire, young people don't have a house left. And that's why their responsibility is to make sure the failure of the previous generations, they don't become the victims. So they get in charge of that. That's why we talk about creating a world of 3 zeros. That's what the message we give. And we say we young people are the most powerful generation in human history right now, the present young generation. The reason I say that, I try to explain to them, I say not because you're smarter than the previous generation, simply because you have all the technology in your hand, which no other generation ever had. That makes you extra powerful. So you are literally, you have a Aladdin's lamp in your hand. You can do anything you want. But if you're not aware of that power and you're not touching that lamp, that will be wasted away. You cannot preserve it. That power will be gone. So be aware of your power and ask yourself what use you want to make of this power. And there you raise the question or bring the conclusion that why don't we create a world of 3 zeros? 0 net carbon emission, so that there is no global warming. 0 wealth concentration, so that all the wealth doesn't end up in the hands of few people and other people are deprived. And 0 unemployment, because unemployment is coming very quickly because of the artificial intelligence. And so instead of forget about the unemployment, we are basically, as a human being, we are entrepreneurs. We turn ourselves into entrepreneurs, not job seekers. So we will have 0 unemployment. That's the direction. These are the 3 0 that we want to establish and create a new world for us. And that's what the young people should concentrate their attention to and make it happen. And they can do it.
Amin. So on technology, you've voiced concerns around artificial intelligence making once needed jobs, I guess, obsolete. I'm interested in your views on how technology has changed the nature of social investing in the time that you have been engaged in this space. And also, what do you think might be the next big technological disruption to impact this sector? And what should social investors be doing to prepare for this?
The point that I would like to highlight, the technology doesn't have its own mind. Not yet. Soon they will have, probably, with artificial intelligence, but so far the technology that we are talking about, it doesn't have its mind. It's the people who use the technology to fulfill their ambitions, their objectives. So unless it's in people's mind, technology cannot do anything. So to say that technology can do this, that's a kind of wrong description. People can do this. If people have it in mind, they will do it. And technology will be a supporting tool that, yes, we make it easy for you. Technology is a convenience. It's something that it will be hard for you to do, make it easy for you to do. But the idea that you want to do it, you want to go to the moon, technology makes it possible to go to the moon. Technology doesn't say that I want to go to the moon. Technology doesn't say that. It's a people's need that makes it happen. I want to go over the ocean, then I design a ship that's how to make it happen. So that's the technology they use, that I have this vehicle design, which handle the problems of going over the ocean and so on. So that's what it does. So to say that how much is technology achieving, I said technology is not achieving anything. It's a human being achieving, and human being is creating this technology to achieve that. There is some fallout from the technology existing. One technology was designed for something, but I take that technology to fulfill my purpose. It was not designed for that purpose. That's what we can do. But it is my desire, my intention to make that happen. So if I don't have it in mind, all the technology can be lying on my table, I won't do anything about that because I don't have it in my mind. That's why having that ambition, having that objective is the most important thing.
And you've already voiced your concerns about the climate. Of course, you have strong views about what businesses need to be doing to address this climate challenge. With COP26 upon us, are you hopeful that we will succeed in overcoming this challenge? And also for the aspiring philanthropist and social investor who's passionate about this, what is the most useful thing that they can do today to help address this global issue?
On the first part of your question, I said I would say that I'm a compulsive optimist. So I would say that yes, human being will survive. Something will happen, but the way it is proceeding, it doesn't look like it. The urgency is completely missing. It's a business as usual. Businesses are going on. If you are so desperate to stop the fire in your house, you'll be doing crazy things. You are trying to do sane things only, not the crazy things yet. The crazy thing will be we will stop using fossil fuel right away because this is destroying our planet and endangering the future of us. We have become the most endangered species on this planet right now because of the fossil fuel to begin with. There are other things, but the fossil fuel is number one culprit. So we should be stopping fossil fuel right away before we discuss anything. So the moment we talk about fossil fuel in all these discussions goes kind of a very light, very indecisive. It's not very concrete, this thing that we are talking about. You don't want to get involved with it because banks are financing huge amount of money into fossil fuel. You don't stop that. Government is pushing in lots of money into the fossil fuel. You don't stop that. So that's the kind of thing that urgency is missing. We wonder whether we'll get over it. So not because perhaps that the government is doing things, is because people who want to survive, that young people who want to survive, they will make a decision that we cannot rely on our leaders. We have to take the responsibility ourselves and refuse to use the fossil fuel, refuse to use anything which is destructive to the planet and so on, in terms of creating global warming, in terms of destroying the planet itself. So that's the only way out, I say. This time is coming very soon. There's a kind of youth voice raised to make sure that the governments and the political parties are forced to take hard decisions, not just soft decisions and make promises.
Thank you, Dr. Yunus, for your dedication, for your passion, and the really incredible work that you have done and continue to do. I hope to see you again very soon, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Badr, for having me with you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.